Flippin' Steve back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about undervalued, underappreciated sets. Of course, this is going to be opinionated, and it's stuff that I buy when I'm looking for nice cards for my personal collection. So with that being said, it's not that I'm claiming that these are undervalued sets that are going to go up in value. It's just stuff that when you can't afford the top end items such as National Treasures and Flawless or even Immaculate, where do you go with your money? Especially when you're not looking to buy like a base Prism or even a silver Prism. You want something a little bit more exciting because they're going to be cards that you're going to collect and could have value down the road if people were to adapt or adjust and start looking at some of these sets. A lot of this stuff is the stuff that I buy because there's really good cards out there that I believe get overlooked. And I'm going to show you some examples that I have in my collection and also tell you why I tend to buy these cards. First thing is I need to head down to the mailbox because one of the cards I want to show in today's video is coming in the mail today. eBay says that it has arrived, so it's a cool card that I will show in today's video. Also, one thing that I need to mention is that these sets and cards pertain to what I collect. And not everybody collects the same. What I like to collect is Hall of Fame autos, Hall of Fame jersey patch autos, preferably with nice chunky patches on them to kind of set them apart from others. Because with lots of autographs and lots of jersey cards out there, you really want the game use stuff. You want the on-card autos. You want your patches to be unique as opposed to just looking like all the other cards out there, especially if you're going to put them in your PC. You want them to kind of feel special. So there are some sets out there that aren't National Treasures, that aren't Flawless, that aren't Immaculate, that pertains to the criteria that I just mentioned. And this is mainly going to be basketball and football, guys. I don't do a whole lot with baseball. What I'm doing with baseball right now is mostly vintage, and I'm not very familiar with the modern day Topps products, so I can't speak on something that I don't know about. I'm not going to pretend to do so. Got it! Can't nobody match my skills in the tiki toss. Let's go. So to me, one of the most fun things to collect right now is Hall of Fame on-card patch autos of NBA players, retired Hall of Famers. One of my go-to brands for that, for multiple reasons, whether it be Pricepoint, the cards look amazing, they fit all the criteria that I like, would be Panini Noir. Now, Panini Noir has been around, for a little while, at least 4 to 5 years. Doesn't really get the hobby love / respect that it deserves, in my opinion. These are some amazing looking cards, and when you look at the price point, they can be had for a fraction, 25% of what you would buy a Flawless or a National Treasures for. Now, the comments below are going to be lit up with, well, this is what the hobby likes, this is what the hobby prefers. I absolutely understand that. I buy and sell cards on a regular basis, but I also collect. So when I'm looking for value for my collection, this is the route that I like to take. If I'm looking for a card that needs to be more liquid on the secondary market, that's a whole nother ball game. So again, the Panini Noir set I really like. It does offer rookies. You can go back to 2017 and look at the Donovan Mitchell stuff. Look at the Jason Tatum stuff. 2018, look at the Trae Young stuff. All those popular players that everybody loves to buy, sell, and trade. And just look at the cost of what one of those cards is going to set you back as opposed to some of the higher tier items. And does it make sense? Just look at the amount of money that you would have to spend if you wanted a nice card in your collection as opposed to just something that's really going to be not as cost effective unless you were looking to resell it. I have a couple Panini Noir cards here that I'm going to show you guys. We're going to flip the camera around. Let's take a look. You guys let me know what you think below of the Panini Noir set. Okay, look at the couple Panini Noir cards that I own. You guys have seen this in a recent video. This is a Cream Abdul-Jabbar. I love the gold signatures out of 25. 2-colored game used. Yes, it does say game used on the back. Right there. So again, this card I paid about $460 for, $470, under $500. Flawless of a card similar to this. Go all day in the $2,000 mark. So there you go. There's some of your value. The Karl Malone, again, out of the Panini Noir. They have great signatures. You can get really quality patches on these. You don't have to buy Flawless and National Treasures to get high quality 4-color patches. As you can see, here's an example. Again, another card that cost me $100 or a couple $100. I'm sorry. Again, good value there. And a big piece of my PC, which is the Larry Bird laundry tag. 1 out of 2. Again, this is not a cheap card by any means. It is an expensive card, but again, probably half to 30% the cost is if this said National Treasures here. If this said National Treasures or Flawless here, this card would probably be 3 times the value that it is right now because it says Panini Noir. But a great card for my collection because of the value there. My number 2 set also applies to the Basketball Hall of Fame cards, but it also applies to like football rookies, football RPAs. Now we all know nowadays rookie cards, RPAs, you're not going to find game used. It's all going to be player worn, event worn, whatever may have you. But there are some cards that are really under the radar when you look at the price of even silver prisms or base prisms, and you can find some good cards, if you're looking to buy and flip rookies. Because when you're sitting around at a trade night at a show, a nice card, a nice RPA is going to draw someone's attention more so than a base prism. Even if the value of that card is a little bit lower, people tend to flock and gravitate towards some of this stuff, which doesn't make sense because when you see them buying, selling, and trading or buying and selling on the secondary market, it seems like the value or the price point isn't there as far as being high, which gives you a good price point to get in low on some nice cards. Again, it applies to the NBA stuff that I collect and to some NFL rookies. I have some nice Panini One NBA cards that I want to show you guys, and a couple football cards that I want to show you guys. And yes, if I didn't mention it, it is Panini One. So the Panini One set I really liked. They come sealed, which is another bonus. You don't have to worry about the cards really being handled. One thing I will say to look out for is if you see a Panini One card that's not graded, or not sealed, okay? That means somebody more than likely took it out of the Panini encasing and attempted to have it graded. It didn't get the grade, or they did have it graded, didn't get the grade that they wanted, so they got it back and snapped it out. And now they're trying to sell it raw because the raw value would typically be more than, say, a PSA 8 or whatever it may be. So that's one thing to look out for. But I really like these cards because they come sealed by Panini. And a lot of people who like to buy raw to graded or do raw to graded will like to buy these off of you. And they really have some nice chunky patches. So I'm going to show you guys this. For a medium range price point type card, you'll be surprised at some of the quality of the patches and stuff you can get on these cards. And you will see that in a minute when I show you guys some Panini One cards. Now some Panini One action. This card also was an Instagram deal. You guys have seen this is a Charles Barkley out of 10. Panini One. Again, another one of those brands that just gets overlooked. And look at some of the game use patches on this. If you could see this in 3D, I mean, this is an elevated big chunky patch here and a triple color patch up here. On card, important, and fresh out of the mail. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw this card yesterday. So follow me on Instagram because I always post spoilers ahead of time. Another Isaiah Thomas, great price point on this, numbered out of 25. This card was $130 at auction. I know it's Isaiah Thomas. People love to hate him, but someday people are going to love him. But you have the 3-color patch with 2 double-sided stitching here. You don't have to buy the high end to find quality patches and autos. That's really what I want you guys to take away from this video, is there's nice cards out there that are in, your price point. They're in your ballpark of what you can spend for your PC. We have some Panini One football here, and this is strictly stuff that I bought to flip. The NBA stuff is for my collection. So full transparency here. I have a Trey Lance RPA out of 20. Who knows what's going to happen with him? They signed another quarterback, Sam Darnold, quarterback carousel out there, but somebody's got to give this guy a chance. Eventually, he'll be healthy enough. And then this card right here can be bought in the $200 to $250 range if you can get one at auction. But even to compare it to a Contenders, and this one's numbered out of 49, this one's numbered out of 20. This is on card. It has a patch. This is just on card. But Contenders, this card here will run you close to $400. In a PSA 9 slab, probably closer to $500 or $600 if this was a PSA slab. So just take that into account. The difference in these two cards. You can get a nice rookie if you're a Trey Lance fan in the $200 to 250 price range, or a card that is worth more because it's more popular because it's contenders, but doesn't necessarily mean it's a better card. And we're going to bring the Kyler Murrays out here real quick again. Kyler Murray in the gutter. But this out of 25. Got some stitching showing here. On-card auto. Again, this will set you back about $200 as opposed to an Immaculate that's numbered out of 99. And this card is double the price, if not more, than a Panini 1. So, again, it is a nice patch on here. But when you look at double the price for a similar card, you can't really go wrong on the value. Also, from the football RPA perspective, I would like to throw in the Impeccable set. It kind of falls down there around 4 or 5, but the price point is way off. Again, National Treasures, Flawless, Immaculate. Then you have maybe Panini 1. Then you have Impeccable. It comes down there around 5 or 6, between 4 and 6 somewhere, but the price point just doesn't add up. When you talk about the Impeccables, having jersey swatches, having helmet pieces on them, having on-card autos, being numbered, to less than 100, and then you look at the price of them in comparison to Prism and Select, silvers and such. It just reeks of value to me. I'm going to show you some, or at least one Impeccable card that I have, and we'll talk about that a little bit. I did bring up Impeccable for its value, and again, I'm going to show you an Impeccable card. Now, guys, I'm strictly talking about the cards and not these individual players. I'm not saying that these individual players are underpriced, that these players are good value. I'm talking about the set itself. So just apply the set to the player that you prefer to buy. Somebody that's really buzzy right now is Jordan Love. So here's an Impeccable Jordan Love. We talk about Impeccable. These are comping right now at about the $300 mark. They were comping it closer to $200, but again, he's had some buzz. This is out of 75. This is a dual patch with a piece of the helmet with the on-card auto. I have a Contenders here that is a playoff ticket out of 99 in a raw form. This is probably a $1,000 card. In a PSA 10, this card is really starting to push up there. So again, look at the cards here. This is a great looking card. This is a popular card. So that's the difference here. It's just the popularity. I do understand that. But just show you $300 here, 25% cost of what a Contenders will set you back. And you be the judge of which card you think is actually a cooler one to probably have. And I want to wrap it up, last but not least, with, let's see, a card that's sort of polarizing to some because the RPAs can sometimes be gaudy. Or the patch autos that can be signed in neon colors. They use lots of sticker autos on these cards, and that's Panini Spectra. But I want to talk about the Panini Spectra base/parallel sets, okay? I'm not a fan of these Spectra autograph patch cards. However, when it comes to a good base card that has multiple parallels, like your Selects and like your Prisms, Spectra really has some nice stuff out there. It has good eye appeal. It's serial numbered, the pops are low, and again, fraction of the cost. So if you're not the type of person that likes the autographs or the jersey cards and you just want nice parallels of your rookies and things like that, I kind of like that Spectra set. I've been looking at it. I have picked up one of those Spectra cards. This is the only Spectra that I own, but I am starting to look into these because I just kind of discovered it and thought it was really cool. This is a Trevor Lawrence, and this is a Panini Spectra Celestial. This is numbered out of 99. Thank you, eBay, for covering up. But it is numbered out of 99. You have to take my word for it. Low pop, but, way less expensive than a silver Prism or even a silver Select, I would guess. Because it's not Prism and it's not Select and it's not Optic. It's a lower tier product, but has great eye appeal, has great, this is what people look for nowadays. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but it is, the shiny that people get caught up in, and serial numbered, another thing that people look for. But the price point is very low because people aren't necessarily paying attention to this set in particular. So that's going to end this video on overlooked, undervalued, underrated sets. Of course, this is my perspective. This is my opinion. In fact, below in the comments, I want you guys to comment on some of your favorite sets that you like to buy. Where do you find bang for your buck? Because that's ultimately what this is. This is just bang for your buck. Finding nice cards at good price points as opposed to really nice cards at very high price points. You know, I would rather buy a nice card at a low price point if I believe that that card is nice and I would like to have it in my PC. Again, hopefully you guys take something away from this. Hopefully you leave some comments below and I can learn some stuff from you. And make sure you like and subscribe on your way out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.